You meet someone, and within minutes, the room tilts. Your heart is loud, your thoughts go soft and fast, and somewhere underneath it all, a quiet voice insists, "I know you. I have always known you." We call this chemistry. We treat it as a sign from the universe that we finally found the one. Yet for many of us, this overwhelming sense of destiny ends in the exact same pattern of heartbreak we promised ourselves we would never repeat. This raises an uncomfortable possibility. That electric pull might not be your future calling you forward. It might be your past, reaching up through your body, asking you to repeat a story you never finished. To understand why this happens, we have to rethink what the spark actually represents. While it feels like a forecast of long-term compatibility, your biology might be signaling something far more specific, a deep, visceral sense of recognition. This diagram shows the brain's reward system during the first hours of attraction. This region floods you with dopamine, the chemical of wanting, anticipation, and reaching toward. It creates a feeling that is less like calm contentment and more like a physical hunger. This reward system operates with a very narrow focus. It ignores a partner's long-term qualities, like their honesty, their kindness, or their ability to stay when things get hard. Instead, the system scans for a familiar behavioral rhythm. When a new person's specific mix of warmth and distance matches a pattern you already know, your brain flares up and labels that recognition as chemistry. These patterns are written in childhood. If love arrived alongside criticism, mood swings, or a parent who is tender one moment and cold the next, your nervous system learned a specific language. It learned that loving someone and fearing their withdrawal are the same thing. For anyone with this emotional blueprint, a relationship that is steady and predictable feels foreign. Your body has been trained to equate the tension of inconsistency with the feeling of being home. This chart compares two types of connection. Logic suggests we would bond to the steady, reliable markers on the top, but the human brain is often more powerfully addicted to the bottom timeline, the unpredictable possibility of a reward. Researchers Dutton and Painter studied this in 1993, finding that the strongest attachments after a separation were formed by unpredictable swings between tenderness and cruelty. This intermittent reinforcement acts as a powerful glue, bonding the brain to the person who causes the most distress. Consider a woman named Maya, who only feels drawn to partners who are slightly out of reach. When a text finally arrives after hours of silence, her whole day lights up. She mistakes this surge of relief, this release of anxiety, for the feeling of being in love. When Maya meets someone steady who remembers what she said last week, she feels almost nothing. Her nervous system interprets his safety as a lack of connection because he never triggers the specific ache her body is tuned to chase. Chasing this intensity is a process called trauma reenactment. It's an unconscious attempt to return to the original, painful dynamic of our past, hoping that this time we can finally win over the unavailable person and rewrite the ending of the story. The tragedy of this wiring is that the people most capable of loving us well are often filtered out. They are coded as dull or boring, not because they are uninteresting, but because they never trigger the old wounds we confuse with connection. If you recognize this pattern in yourself, understand that it is a survival strategy, not a character flaw. You are carrying the loyal, outdated wisdom of a child who adapted brilliantly to stay connected to the only caregivers they had. Breaking this cycle requires listening to the texture of your attraction. There is a version that feels urgent and unsettled, where you are bracing for withdrawal. And there is a version that feels open and steady, where you feel seen. Only the latter is a soil love can actually grow in. In healthy relationships, all-consuming early passion eventually evolves. It matures into companionate love, a deep friendship built on trust and ease. This softening isn't the death of the relationship, it's the relationship growing up. Real love often arrives quieter than we expect. It lacks the fireworks of the spark, because it lacks the anxiety of the wound. Learning to trust this calm rather than fleeing from it is the bravest thing a healing heart can do.